conservative new media viewers and JLin fans around the world. What is up? It's me, PFE, Paul F. Villarreal, the NBA expert. We are here to discuss Houston's 122-120 overtime loss tonight in Game 1 of the 2014 NBA playoffs against the Portland Trail Blazers. Now, before I talk about this, let me just say I've been away for a long time, and I will talk about that at the end of this video. I'm going to keep this video relatively short or shorter than normal. That's what I'm going to have to do for now. I also have a couple of things to say to a few people that have contacted me that I have not had the opportunity to contact yet. So again, all of that will come at the end of the video. Number two, I'm very out of practice because I haven't made a video in months, so forgive my rustiness at this. Okay, let's get to the game. Oh, finally, number three. I'm going to have to talk a little bit lower because one of my neighbors now has a baby. That's a very light sleeper, so I just have to be a little bit lower in volume right now. I'll try to take care of that and amplifying the audio after I cut it. But if I sound like I'm whispering, it's kind of like I am. Okay, let's get to the game. Now, this was a thrilling game of itself. It was great to watch, except, unfortunately, the Rockets lost. And that made it a lot less fun to watch if you're a Rockets fan or a JLin fan like we are. Most of the people that are watching this game. I give a lot of respect to Portland. They played great. And what happened in this game was that this was a game of runs. And what that means, that terminology means, is that each team goes on a streak during the game. Like maybe they'll score 14 points in a row, and then another team scores 12 points versus 2 points to the other team in a row. So this game had a lot of that. And what happened is Portland got on the last run in regulation, meaning Houston was up by 10 points with about 4 minutes left in this game, and then Portland got on a run, and they were able to carry that run to take the game into overtime, and that's basically what happened. I mean, there were times in this game where it looked like Houston was going to blow out Portland several times. But then Portland came back and they did what they had to do. Portland's strategy down the stretch in the fourth was brilliant. It worked great. They were able to find their rhythm in shooting. They were able to attack Jeremy at times off the dribble. They did the Hack-Howard strategy to disrupt what Houston was doing, and it worked. Unfortunately for Jeremy and unfortunately for the Rockets, but that's the strategy aspect of the game. And, well, I mean, it worked for them. I mean, that's the easiest way to say it. I thought that James Harden's shot with about 17 seconds or whatever it was left in the overtime, the three-pointer that he took, I believe that's when it was a terrible shot. That was not a good decision by James on that shot. And that was the shot that was missed. And then after it was missed, Dwight Howard fouled Joel Freeland. So not only did you miss the shot and you took a shot you didn't need to take, I think Houston was down by 1 point at that time. That led to Dwight fouling a guy because he was trying to get the offensive rebound. Now, I want to give credit to Patrick Beverley quickly here. First of all, Patrick didn't have big numbers in this game, but the play that he made in overtime, where he drew the foul on LaMarcus Aldridge, was a brilliant play. He exaggerated the foul, but the reason why he did that foul was so that he could get LaMarcus Aldridge out of the game. LaMarcus Aldridge had, what did he have? Like 46 points and 18 rebounds. He totally destroyed the Rockets. And so Patrick made the best decision he could have made, which is LaMarcus Aldridge is setting the pick here. He was setting a screen to help free up Damian Lillard bringing the ball up the court. I think Patrick knew that Aldridge was the guy setting the screen, so he's like, okay, I'm going to run right into him and sell the foul, and then LaMarcus Aldridge is gone from this game. It worked, and that helped Houston tremendously. Unfortunately, it didn't help them enough because not too long after that, Patrick himself fouled out, and that meant that Lillard was able to put more pressure on Houston's defense because Patrick wasn't in there to guard him. Now, turning to Jeremy. I'm not going to go over every single thing here. I just go over the negatives really quickly. The main negative in this game regarding Jeremy was that he missed layups, and some of them were very easy layups. This is something Jeremy has had issue with before, and he just have to keep working on it, and he will. He will. It's just something he has to work on, and everybody's got their things, and he'll continue to work on this, and that's what it is. However, you saw the return of Mr. Clutch, which is we saw him last time that Houston played Portland when Jeremy was big down the stretch of the game and into overtime. But Jeremy, I believe, had 7 points in the overtime of this game. He had 14 points total. So half of his points came in crunch time when he had to pick it up. And he did great down there in that time of the game. He also had a number of terrific passes in this game where he would stop his dribble and he would let one of the other men, Terrence Jones or Dwight Howard, get free and hit them for easy dunks. So overall, Jeremy was very solid in this game. His efficiency number was 16, which is good. It's not incredible, but it's good. And particularly when you're in the playoffs and you're playing against a high-level opponent. And we've heard before, Jeremy can't do this, Jeremy can't do that, he's not good in the playoffs, blah, 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 blah. Well, he was certainly solid tonight. The best point guard in the game was Damian Lillard. And Damian had a really, really good game. 31 points, 9 boards, 5 assists. Look, Damian Lillard's a budding star. They mentioned during the telecast that he has more three-pointers made in his first 2 years than anybody in the history of the league. This guy is legit. We know that both Patrick and Jeremy have done well against him this year. You're not going to hold him down forever. He's just too good. And he showed that tonight. And that's what it was. Patrick had some success with him. Jeremy had some success, but neither one of them had a whole bunch of success. And that's what it was. But I thought Jeremy played well. He certainly came up big when he needed to. He didn't play a perfect game. He missed layups. He had a couple turnovers. Okay. He played well. And I'm happy. I'm not happy the team lost, but I'm happy for him because this is the next stage of his development. One of the things he needs to work on is just get more playoff experience and get some positive experiences after what happened with Oklahoma City last year. And honestly, not even just what happened, but people's perception of what happened. All this stuff, and he was so bad and blah, 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 blah. So he came up very well tonight. And Mikal was fair with him. Very fair. I mean, Jeremy played in crunch time of this game, both down the stretch of regulation and in overtime. And I think he had maybe the second best plus-minus on the team behind Francisco Garcia, I believe. Yeah. Jeremy was +5 and Francisco was +8. I'm looking at the stats right now. They were the only two players on the team who had a positive plus-minus, meaning that the team performed better than the other team when you were on the floor by that number of points. 5 for Jeremy in this instance. So they were the only two on the team who did that, and Jeremy played about double the number of minutes Francisco did. So McKay on the coaching staff rewarded him for that. He got to play when he should have played, and that's good to see. And even though the team lost, this is another positive development for Jeremy and Jeremy's career going forward. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to say about the game, as I do want to keep this short. Look, this is a tough loss. Portland came into this game believing they could win. And Chris Webber mentioned this on the TNT broadcast in the United States. Portland, he said early on, Portland came in, I can't remember exactly what he said, but he basically said they came in feeling like they should win. And so they got this win, and now they have home court in this series. And this is going to be a real fight now for Houston to win this series. Houston won the regular season series 3-1, but Portland knows they can play with Houston. They match up pretty well with Houston. And what happens in the playoffs as opposed to the regular season, in the playoffs, you play your bench less. Your starters play more. One of Portland's biggest weaknesses is their bench isn't very good. Well, now it doesn't matter as much because in the playoffs you get more rest in between games. There are no back-to-back games. You get at least one day of rest in between games and sometimes more. And there's also the timeouts during the game are longer. They tend to be a little bit longer. Halftime's a little bit longer because of all the television programming and commercials. So you can play your starters more minutes. And so Portland starters match up well against Houston starters. I was looking at some comparison of that, and they match up quite well. So with Portland getting this win, it's going to be tough now for Houston. I'm not going to sit here and tell you they can't win. Of course they can win, but this is going to be like a coin toss series now. Maybe even an advantage to Portland. This is going to be tough now. And Portland also has a very, very energetic crowd. So they have a real home court advantage. If you haven't watched any games in Portland, you'll see what I mean when they play in Portland. So this is going to it's going to be interesting from here on out. I think that's about it. I think that's all I'm going to say about the game. It was an exciting game. It's unfortunate Houston lost, but they didn't play poorly. They were on the wrong end of the final run of the game in regulation, and it caught up to them. Okay, now let's get to my own stuff here quickly. There's a number of different things to talk about. I'll just go. I don't have any notes on this, so I'll just do it as I can. Number one, there are 4 to 5 people that I have to apologize to that I have not had a chance to return correspondence with. First is JLin. Second is Hanny Chang. Third is Grace Miller. Fourth is Anli Shin. And fifth is Melody Ting. Each of these people have sent me emails or tweets or something, and I haven't had a chance to respond to anybody in about 3 months. And I'm sorry about that, and I will get on that as soon as I can. So that's the first thing I want to say. The second thing I want to say, where have I been? What's going on? There's various rumors and different things out there. And I've seen them. They've been directed to me, or people have let me know about them, or I've seen them on JeremyLin.net, etc. Okay, let's just go through this one by one. Number one, Paul has given up on JeremyLin. False. 100% false. You guys should know by now that I will never give up on Jeremy. I don't care if Jeremy gets sent to the D-League, or if he gets shipped over to Russia to play where Patrick Beverly used to play. I'm never giving up on Jeremy. So I never gave up on Jeremy. And I'm not going to give up on him. I understand why people would feel that way, and I'll get to something regarding that in a moment. But I have not given up on him, and I'm not going to give up on him. That's has nothing to do with it. Okay. What was one of the other things? Another one of the rumors. The Rockets organization or somebody else has paid me money to be quiet. No, that is completely false. Nobody's paid me anything, and nobody could pay me anything. If you know myself, if you know John, I wouldn't do that. You can't put a price on your integrity or your credibility. If we were just out there to be bought off by the highest bidder, you guys wouldn't be listening to us in the first place. I mean, we're not going to do that. That's not happening, and it didn't happen. So that's the easiest way to say it. Now, one reason why I think some people believe I gave up on Jeremy was because for the last 3 weeks or so, I've been posting on Real GM, which is a site I've told you guys I go to before and I post on when I can. And I'm a basketball junkie. I love the NBA. I mean, it's just, I can't get away from it. It's just something I've loved basketball my whole life. On my Real GM account, whenever I make a post, every poster has a signature area, where if you want to personalize your signature, it appears in every post. Well, I used to have in the signature, hey, come follow the best JLin videos on the internet. And I took that out. I didn't take it out because I gave up on Jeremy. I took it out because I haven't been making videos about Jeremy. So in other words, I don't want people to come and say, hey, where are the videos at? You have in your signature, you're making videos. You're not making any videos. That's the only reason I took it out. I'm not giving up on Jeremy or anything or forsaking Jeremy. Same thing with responding to people's correspondence. I'm not trying to blow anybody off. And I'll get more to that in a second. Now, I can understand people being upset with me because I've been posting on Real GM and not doing videos or not responding to correspondence, and that's a fair criticism. I'll get more to that in a second. But the reason why I do it is, for me, posting about basketball is easy. It's much easier than making a video. It's much less complicated. It takes much less time. Another reason why I make posts there is because it's like a stress relief for me. This won't make sense to a lot of people, but maybe it'll make sense to some people. It's easier for me to post about basketball because I don't have to think about it very much. It's just something I'm used to doing, to think about basketball. Whereas when I write friends and stuff, like, I have to think about it more. I know that sounds crazy, but it's just like the way that I am. Now, before the last 3 weeks or so, I was off the internet for something like 8 to 10 weeks. I was completely off the net. Why was I off the net? I was off the net because I got 2 really nasty computer viruses, and it just punked my computer. So I couldn't do it. Until about 3 weeks ago, I was off the net for whatever it was, 2.5 months. So whatever, I don't know, February and March, a lot of the time, whatever, I was just 100% off the net. And once I got back on the net, I was just going through, I just wanted to go and talk basketball because the playoffs were coming up, and just that was my little stress relief type of thing. Also, the health issues, personal issues, everything that I've talked about in the past are still going on. Various parts of that. I'm not moved. I haven't moved yet. I still am probably going to need sinus surgery, which I've not been able to line up yet. So my breathing's still messed up, blah, 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 blah. So all of that's still going on. So to make a long story short, the last, whatever it is, 2 to 3 months has been super computer virus, super stress, and still other things going on. So that's where I've been. And I didn't have any ability or any time or the mental bandwidth to make videos. And that's what's been going on. So, again, I apologize to the people that I have not been able to respond to. Again, I've gotten everything you guys have sent to me. I will respond. I'm sorry that it's taken this long, but like I said, I was off the grid completely for quite a bit. And but I appreciate everything that's been sent to me. I've seen it. I know John's still been making videos, and hopefully, at least by next year, hopefully all this stuff can be resolved and we can be full go and I can be making videos again. I still have some issues with family, some things that have to be resolved and everything, and in terms of circumstances, but just kind of working with that right now. I'm not sure how that's going to work out, so we're still waiting on that also. I hope everybody's doing great. I have been on JLin.net. I've seen some things. I know a couple people wrote some stuff about myself. Some people directed that to me. I appreciate what people have said. We are still here. And again, I'm just as enthusiastic about Jeremy as I've always been. John feels the same way. And that's it. There's no change in that whatsoever. It's just kind of life gets in the way at times, and you just got to deal with it. So that's all it is. Okay, that's about it. I do not know if I will have the opportunity to come down into the comments tonight. It's about 1:47 a.m. here on the East Coast, early Monday, April 21st, which means it is, I don't know exactly what time it is right now, actually, in Taipei, Taiwan. I don't know if it's 12 or 13 hours ahead because we recently had a time change. I believe it's 12 hours ahead, which would make it 1:47 p.m. on Monday, April 21st, 2014. Excuse me, but I'm not really sure about that right now. So I've got to regain my full orientation on all those things, including making videos, because I haven't made one in a really long time, since like January something. That's it. Look, I hope you guys enjoyed the game as much as I did tonight. It's unfortunate the team did not win. I think John made a video about this game as well. It's probably already up right now as I'm making this. Look, let's look forward to game 2. I don't know, what is it, on Tuesday, I think? It's, if we're going to win this series, we need to win that game. I'm not saying we couldn't possibly win 2 on the road, but that's not a likely scenario. So if the team is going to win, they're going to need to get the next game. And I can tell you this, Portland's going to come full out. Now, they're not going to be happy with the split. They're going to try to get both of the games and then close it out in Portland. So expect game 2 to be just as intense or even more intense than this game was. So I hope that the team is, hope they're ready. I'm sure they will be ready. They're going to be upset after losing this game. But just again, summarizing the thoughts on Jeremy, I thought Jeremy played well. Just off the top of my head, I think this is the best game that he had so far in the playoffs. Of course, he didn't play so many games last year in the playoffs. Maybe he played 4, and 1 or 2 of those came when he had the chest contusion. So he hasn't really had a chance to do anything in the playoffs, and so there's not a large sample size, but my first thought is that this is probably the best game that he's played in the playoffs, and it shows you a more accurate representation of what he can do rather than what we saw last year against Oklahoma City. You have to remember, they were going up against a terrific team in Oklahoma City, the number one seed, I believe, last year, and he was going against Russell Westbrook, who is an incredible player, phenomenal player. And that was Jeremy's first time in the playoffs, and you're going against somebody as good as Russell Westbrook, and Russell Westbrook didn't have any injury issues then. So you put somebody in that circumstance, they might not do really great, especially if it's the first time that they've been in that situation. So I was really happy with how Jeremy performed tonight, and I expect to see more improvement from him the more exposure that he gets to these circumstances. So onwards and upwards from here. And that's about it. great to be back in the mix. I can't not tell you right now how often, if I'm going to be able to make more of these. I will try to. I'm definitely watching the playoffs. But I will make what I can make when I can make it. I did want to make one tonight. I did want to check in. I did want to let people know what's up with me. I did want to dispel some of the rumors that are out there that I addressed. And that's about it. I hope everybody's doing well. It's been a while. I miss everybody. To Sam, I'm sure. And I hope you guys have missed me. And we'll take it forward from here. Everybody's been doing great. People on Twitter, people on JLin.net, a lot of the sites, Chris Baldwin, the Greg at Sportage. People have been doing a really good job, which is, I know exactly what would happen. It's Jeremy's fan community is what it is, and it goes on regardless of whether I'm around or anybody else is around. That's about it. Hopefully the team will do better in game number 2, and I'm looking forward to seeing another solid performance from Jeremy as he continues to progress in his NBA career and get more experience in these type of circumstances and dispel the myths that he can't do well in these circumstances and this type of thing. One thing I liked about Jeremy tonight as well is he was decisive. He was decisive tonight. Even when he missed some of those layups or he missed that three-pointer from the top of the key, he didn't hesitate. He just shot or he just drove to the rim. That's the first step. You can't make the shots if you don't take the shots. And if you're going to take them with no hesitation. So first you take them and then you will make them. So soon enough, he'll make those layups. He'll make more threes. He'll make more shots. That bank shot, he had some great plays in overtime. Really, really nice plays. So I like it. I like the way that he's playing. It's good to see. So we will go forward from here. Okay, that's it for now. Once again, I am PFE Paula Filiariel, the NBA expert. Thanks for watching Conservative New Media. We do our best to be the number one, or at least one of the JLin fan channels on YouTube when we have the opportunity to do so. We encourage you to come and join the Conservative New Media Facebook group, which has over 3,000 members and counting. And like I said, I hope everybody's doing well. The weather is changing nicely here in the Northern Hemisphere. I guess it's probably getting cooler down in the Southern Hemisphere, like where Melody Ting is in Australia, and where other fans of Jeremy are down in South America, Africa, other places in the Southern Hemisphere. So that's it. Also, let me just say quickly on a related note, I know a lot of you guys are fans of this individual as well. I was very happy to see how Manny Pacquiao performed in the Timothy Bradley 2 fight. Very good. Really happy about that. So I expect Manny is going to be fighting Juan Manuel Marquez for a 5th time. Even though Juan Manuel doesn't seem interested in it, I think he'll be more interested in it if he gets by his next fight and then the promoters talk about how much money could be involved. I think Juan Manuel will be a lot more interested in the fight than he seems to be currently. So it's very good to see Pac-Man back in the mix and on the comeback trail. And he's fully back. And if he gets a chance to fight Juan Manuel, then he'll be all the way back if he wins that. So very good. Very good. We know Jeremy and Manny are fans of each other. And so I'm really happy that Manny was able to get the victory last weekend. So that's it for now. If I can get down the comments, I will. Again, take care. Hope everybody has had a great Easter if you are Christian. And if you're not Christian, I hope that you're enjoying whatever other holidays might be going on right around now. And just that you're doing well. It's good to talk to you guys. And We will talk to you again soon.